In the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, in a bustling neighborhood teeming with life, a young girl named Ifeoma faced a starkly different reality from the joyous laughter and playful screams of children around her. At 7 months old, she was abandoned by her mother, left with a resentful stepmother. Ifeoma's early memories were filled with hunger and pain. Her stepmother, Amina, was a woman embittered by circumstances and took out her frustrations on the innocent child. Ifeoma, barely understanding the world around her, learned quickly that survival meant enduring her stepmother's wrath. Days would pass with nothing but a few scraps of food, and sometimes she went hungry for days. One fateful day, her desperation led her to the dog's leftovers. She found herself eating eba and egusi soup meant for their pet, a moment that etched itself into her memory forever. The neighbor's son, Chidi, saw her and rushed to tell his mother. Ifeoma's heart pounded with fear, knowing the punishment that awaited her if her stepmother found out. Later that evening, Chidi's mother, Mama Chidi, called Ifeoma over, her gentle eyes filled with tears as she listened to Ifeoma's terrified confession. "Please, Mama Chidi, don't tell my stepmother. She will kill me," Ifeoma pleaded. Mama Chidi's heart broke. She promised Ifeoma that she would bring her food secretly every day, a promise she kept religiously. This small act of kindness became Ifeoma's lifeline, a flicker of hope in her otherwise bleak existence. Despite the relentless cruelty, Ifeoma's spirit remained unbroken. She found solace in her studies, excelling in school as if her very life depended on it. Her teachers noticed her brilliance, often marveling at how such a bright child could come from such a difficult home. Ifeoma knew that education was her only ticket out of the nightmare she lived daily. She clung to her books as if they were her lifeline, and in many ways they were. As Ifeoma grew older, the abuses worsened. Amina's punishments became more severe, often leaving Ifeoma with bruises and scars that served as a constant reminder of her stepmother's hatred. One particularly brutal punishment involved Amina applying pepper in sensitive areas, tying Ifeoma up, and leaving her in a toilet for days without food. The physical pain was immense, but the emotional scars cut deeper. Yet amidst this darkness, Ifeoma's light continued to shine. Her academic performance was stellar, and she became a favorite among her teachers. They often provided her with extra books and materials, nurturing her thirst for knowledge. The more Amina tried to break her, the more determined Ifeoma became to succeed. One day, during a particularly harsh rainy season, Ifeoma fell seriously ill. Feverish and weak, she lay in a corner of the house, ignored by her stepmother. Mama Chidi noticed her absence and, under the guise of borrowing a cup of sugar, visited their home. She found Ifeoma shivering and immediately took her in, nursing her back to health. "You are a fighter, Ifeoma," Mama Chidi said softly, wiping her forehead with a damp cloth. "Never forget that. You have a bright future ahead of you." These words became a mantra for Ifeoma. She knew that she had to endure, to fight through the pain and suffering, because a brighter future awaited her. She dreamt of becoming a lawyer, someone who could fight against the injustices she had faced and protect others from the kind of abuse she endured. In school, her reputation as a top student continued to grow. Her teachers began to take notice, and soon Ifeoma was offered a scholarship to a prestigious secondary school. This was the break she had been waiting for, a chance to escape the clutches of her stepmother and start anew. Ifeoma's transition to secondary school marked a significant turning point in her life. The scholarship provided not only an escape from her stepmother's cruelty, but also an opportunity to immerse herself fully in her studies. The school was a sanctuary, a place where she could breathe freely and dream without fear. The teachers at the new school were supportive and encouraging. They recognized Ifeoma's potential and went out of their way to nurture it. Ifeoma thrived, throwing herself into her studies with a fervor that amazed everyone. Her classmates admired her determination and resilience, often seeking her help with their studies. However, the shadows of her past still lingered. Amina's voice echoed in her mind, her cruel words and actions casting long shadows over Ifeoma's newfound freedom. Nightmares plagued her, and there were times when she doubted herself, wondering if she could ever truly escape her past. One day, during a break between classes, Ifeoma found herself confiding in a kind-hearted teacher, Mrs. Obi. "Sometimes I feel like, no matter how hard I try, I can never get away from what I've been through," she admitted, tears streaming down her face. Mrs. Obi took Ifeoma's hands in hers and looked her straight in the eyes. "Ifeoma, you are not defined by your past. You are defined by how you rise above it. You have a gift and you have the power to change not only your life, but the lives of others. Remember that." Those words resonated deeply with Ifeoma. She realized that her past was not a shackle, but a source of strength. She had endured unimaginable pain and suffering, yet she had emerged stronger. She vowed to use her experiences as fuel for her dreams, to become a beacon of hope for others. Her academic journey continued to be stellar. She graduated top of her class and earned a scholarship to study law at the University of Lagos. The day she received her acceptance letter was one of the happiest days of her life. She had done it. She had broken free from the chains of her past and was on her way to achieving her dreams. University life was a new world for Ifeoma. It was challenging, demanding, and exhilarating all at once. She was determined to make the most of this opportunity, immersing herself in her studies and participating in various extracurricular activities. Her passion for justice grew stronger, fueled by her own experiences of abuse and neglect. In her second year, Ifeoma joined a student organization focused on human rights and legal aid. She found a community of like-minded individuals who were passionate about making a difference. Together they organized seminars, provided free legal advice to the less privileged, and campaigned for social justice. One of the cases that left a profound impact on Ifeoma was that of a young girl named Amara, who had been abused by her guardian. Hearing Amara's story brought back painful memories, but it also strengthened Ifeoma's resolve to fight for justice. She took Amara under her wing, providing support and guidance, just as Mama Chidi had done for her. During a seminar on child abuse, Ifeoma shared her own story publicly for the first time. The audience was moved to tears by her courage and resilience. "I stand before you today not as a victim, but as a survivor. I have turned my pain into power, and I am determined to ensure that no child has to endure what I went through." Her speech garnered attention and respect. Professors, students, and even practicing lawyers took notice of her passion and dedication. Ifeoma was offered internships and mentorship opportunities that further honed her skills and expanded her network. Years of hard work and perseverance culminated in Ifeoma's graduation from law school. The ceremony was a momentous occasion, attended by her professors, friends, Mama Chidi, and, to Ifeoma's great surprise and joy, her father. Despite his earlier neglect and passive acceptance of Amina's cruelty, her father stood proudly, his eyes brimming with tears, as he watched his daughter receive her degree. As Ifeoma walked across the stage to accept her diploma, her father's voice boomed through the hall. "Come and see this, my daughter. Oh, has she not done well? Oh, she has inherited my brains." The audience erupted in applause and cheers, sharing in his pride. Ifeoma smiled, a deep sense of accomplishment and reconciliation washing over her. After the ceremony, her father walked around, proudly showing off to anyone who would listen. "This is my daughter, Ifeoma. She is now a top lawyer. All those years of reading books have paid off. She has my brains, I am telling you." Seeing her father's pride and joy, Ifeoma felt a healing balm on old wounds. Though he had been absent and complicit in her suffering, his presence and pride in her achievements meant the world to her. It was a moment of redemption and healing, a step towards forgiving him for the past. Ifeoma began her career as a lawyer with a renowned human rights organization. Her first major case was a landmark one involving child abuse, which she won with flying colors. Her reputation as a formidable lawyer grew, and she became a voice for the voiceless, a beacon of hope for the oppressed. Her success story was featured in several media outlets, and she used her platform to advocate for stronger child protection laws. Ifeoma's journey from a neglected, abused child to a top lawyer was an inspiration to many. She often visited schools and orphanages, sharing her story and encouraging children to believe in themselves and their dreams. One day, while visiting an orphanage, she met a young girl named Ada, whose story mirrored her own. Ada's eyes were filled with the same determination Ifeoma once had. "You remind me of someone I used to know," Ifeoma said with a smile. "Remember, no matter how dark it gets, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. You have the power to change your destiny." Ifeoma's life had come full circle. She had triumphed over the evil that once sought to destroy her, and had emerged as a champion for justice and hope. Her journey was a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the transformative power of education and kindness. And, in her heart, she carried the lesson that had defined her life. No matter the obstacles, one could always rise above and prevail. Is this your story? Are you in the middle of the trial, being misunderstood and mistreated? Be encouraged. If you have a strong and determined mind to succeed no matter the challenge, then you too will emerge victorious. Never give up. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel. We appreciate your time.